Yo, what's up? It's TEKNOBLAST and Techno's Gaming here. Well, in SIKSLAYER on Techno's Gaming.
What up?
Got thrown off a little bit here. What's up, guys? I see that Punty's already in here, but I think he left. He said have a good show, so that's a sign that he's
No, Punty is still there, but Google Poll, I think, is gone.
Oh, Google Poll. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you know when you add and you start typing the first couple letters of somebody's name, if they're there,
okay,
it'll complete. If they're not, it doesn't autocomplete. Then that means they're not there.
I think Poe is just still upset. Something about his Cubs. It's like nobody cares about the Cubs. Who cares about the Cubs? What's going on there?
My Yankees have been losing to forget who it was. The team starts with an A.
The Angels?
I think it's the Angels. Yeah, I think it was the Angels. They've been losing to the Angels.
Not too many teams
with
the A. Astros, Angels.
Yeah, and it wasn't the Astros. We've been whooping on the Astros, so I knew it had to be the Angels. We hear Tech. Hey, Punty, do you hear me?
Oh, does he hear you? You know what? Don't tell me it's some stupid settings again. Yep, it sure is. Here he comes.
Yep. All right, Punty, you should hear me now.
Can you hear me now? Or can you hear him now?
Yeah, so I was saying what's up to Google Poll and Punty. All right, you can hear me. Cool.
Yeah, so there's a few things today I got lined up, and that would be whoops. What did I say? I said something over earlier today. Let's see. Dang it. Oh, that Call of Duty is officially announced that it's going to day one in Game Pass. Woo! That's about it, but it wasn't official yet.
Yep.
Right.
So,
Holst is his name, the new guy for Sony.
Herman Holst.
Talking about his the service games going to PC and PS5 day one, and any sequels. This is the funny line that any sequels, linear games, will be PS5 only. And the reason for that is to entice PC gamers to buy a PS5, which I think is ridiculous.
Is that eventually all those games do come to PC, and it takes less than a year. Look at God of War. When did hold on a second? When did God of War Ragnarok release?
God of War Ragnarok was released on November 9th, 2022, and it is available on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5.
Okay, so it's been over a year, right?
Right. I'm back,
with that game in particular. Right, because it came out in 2023. I mean, 2022. It said, right?
Yeah.
So okay, that one took longer than a year, but they were doing other stuff first. Nixus. They were porting other games, so they didn't have time for that. They do one game at a time because it's just the one development house, right? They can't do everything all at once.
Yeah.
So okay, so that one took more than a year, but generally they take less than a year. So okay, so here's the thing: we get to wait. We get the DLSS, ultra widescreen, all these features, right? We get that, and we get a bug-free version because. Starting with Spider-Man and even Horizon, a lot of these games ain't worth getting day one, even if you're a fan, because they
riddled with buggity bugs
to fix them up.
Yeah.
PC dudes, PC guys don't care to wait.
Oh,
They've been waiting. Like, how you giving
they
them
don't know.
more of a reason to wait, and all they're doing is confirming that it's better for us to wait. So that these games will come to PC. Right, they all will come to PC. Basically, it's just that there'll be a time period of waiting for certain ones. But the multiplat, they're multiplat by default because they also come to PC. But also, we call it the games as a service. Anything that plays online and is cross-play and all that other stuff. Bingo, that's
day one PC. Yeah, it's a must too.
That's coming to
because
PC. They need those games to sell.
Yeah,
but meanwhile, these other games, single player ones, they want to sell consoles. But that's not going to happen, right? I mean, that's the problem. They're not going to sell consoles. Like, this is not going to happen.
Yeah.
But just goes to show what I've been saying. They don't understand the industry they're in because any real gamer knows that's not going to work. Anybody who's saying otherwise is tapping, and we all know it.
Yeah,
pathetic.
That's not going to work. And then you got Minecraft animated series on Netflix, which is, hey, I'm looking forward to it because I do like Minecraft, as long as I'm not playing the original game because it's boring. I only play it because of my kids, but if I don't play it by myself because it's boring. It's just not for me. And like, of course, we're going to talk about the showcase, not the showcase, the state of bore. The state. But you know what? I got my T-shirt, PlayStation T-shirt on. I'm supporting them. Yeah. So, so we'll see. Go PlayStation, woohoo! With your VR games. You're one that really enticed me, but it's not a system. Oops, it's not a system seller for me.
They're realist. There you go.
So, man, I'm almost done with 100 Heroes, man. Almost. I think I got like 3 hours left.
Almost.
Yeah.
Oh, getting close then. That's
getting
nice.
Close to that one. And I want to play about an hour of Hellblade 2, and I was like, oh, all right, let me finish off this game first, 100 Heroes, and then I'll go back into Hellblade. But Hellblade looks freaking good. I think we talked about that last time. It looks amazing. Like you can't tell the difference where the console takes over.
Cutscene.
Yeah, the cutscenes, and then it's gameplay. It's just like there's no stitch line, right?
Nope.
There's no like a jitter to let you know that
the same models they use in the cutscene is the same ones you see in gameplay. It's the same one.
It's one shot, just like Halo.
Yeah, for real. It's one shot. It's crazy how good they got it, man. So, man, that's awesome.
So speaking of games, I just went. Well, I haven't beat that yet because I was playing something else, as I've been saying. Hi-Fi Rush. Finally beat that last night. And all it leaves me is interested in playing more because it seems like there's more stuff to be done.
Oh yeah.
But I know there's a DLC, but there's plot. It seems like there's plot stuff to be done on top of that still. So the story doesn't seem to be over. But I'm interested enough in getting the DLC. I haven't done any research or whatever to know what DLC, but I imagine it's more levels or whatever, right? Yeah. More single player content because it's a single player game. So I think I'll mess with that. But now that I have that done, when I come back from New York over this weekend. Because I have a baby shower to go to on Saturday. My girl will meet a more of my
girl's pregnant? What?
No, I said she's gonna meet a lot more of my family.
Congratulations, man.
No, man.
It's my godmother's daughter. My cousin's daughter is having her first kid. My cousin is my godmother. She's anyway. So yeah, she's having a baby soon. So we're having a baby shower. My girl gets to meet a bunch more of my family that she hasn't met, but she's met them already. But there'll be other people there. So, but yeah, when I come back, I'll finally get back into Hellblade because like I said, I've been playing Hi-Fi Rush. I had like when they shut down the studio and the whole drama behind it, like I kind of didn't want to finish it because I didn't want people coming up to me and being like, "Oh, you're only playing it and finishing it now because because everybody's all upset about the studio closing." I'm like, nah, dude, that's not true at all. Been playing that, and I'd have to go back and forth about that. That's why, usually if I beat a game, right, like I did with what was that one with the aliens and all that?
Aliens?
Shit. No, man, the funny one, bro. With Let's Do It.
Oh, High Life.
Oh, you're talking about High on Life.
High on Life. When I finished that, I posted it, right? I showed the achievement, all that, or whatever I did. I had pride in that. But with Hi-Fi Rush, as much as I now like the game, that I figured out the whole timing thing and all of that. Like I'm even more right, exactly, because I was getting S's all the time in combat once I figured it out, stuff like that. I'm actually very proud of my achievement with that game because I had issue with it and I liked it a lot in the end. I even liked it more than I would say with the other game, right? So, but with all the drama behind it, I just didn't mention it to anybody really like that because I just don't like all the fake people who were just trying to use it for console war ammo. So, I played it for me and my own sake because I found it a fun game after I gave it another shot, a couple months ago. So, finally beat that. But yeah, I'll get back into Hellblade too, man, because I'm as far as what I said, the third level, and so that looks like a game I could finish by in a week or so because I only play like an hour or so each game. Then I get the gamer ADD, and I either want to play something else or do something else.
Look at that. Punny says, congratulations to the new family. Woo!
Yeah, well, I'll tell her. She'll be very happy to hear that. The random people on the internet is happy she's having a baby.
Yay! You just called Punty random?
Well, as far as she's concerned, he's random. She doesn't know him. I know Punty.
Oh, that crazy Canadian.
I'm hurt for Punty.
You're hurt for Punty?
You just called him a random.
You and your concerned trolling. You and your concerned trolling, like all these PlayStation fans do for Xbox, but don't even worry about themselves, right?
Man, it should be worried now after the state of play was shown.
Oh man!
Know what? That's. Go ahead.
Eli liked it, man. He's like, man, this is the best show ever.
What did you think? So yeah, please.
Since PS5 announcement.
Well, no, I didn't. Hey, guys, I didn't tell you guys what I was playing, man.
Oh, what's up?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Nah, same game, bro. Super Mega Baseball Ghost of Tsushima. That's it. Super Mega Baseball Ghost of Tsushima. But man, I don't know. Like, what do you guys expect from Sony when they say it's a state of play, right? Because it's like the fanboys and girls were trying to convince themselves that, oh, it's state of play and a showcase. Like you can't. They're interchangeable. It's not how it is, man. State of play is state of play. Normally, that means a third party, what Xbox would call a third party partner showcase.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the surprise was that they did have a couple of first party games. I was surprised that they had anything. But look, I just look at a show and say, would I play anything on it? That's it. Like, if I'm a PlayStation fan, I'm hot. I'm not a PlayStation fan, so I'm not necessarily upset about it. It wasn't a good show for PlayStation fans that are looking for something to shut us up, right?
Yeah.
Like, even though they try their best to say the Hellblade is a bad game, you got a lot of Xbox fans saying how much they love it. Like Tech, especially just remarking about the graphics and how you can't tell one from the next. It's one shot. All this, and they can't take our shine, right? And we know that on June 9th, there's nothing that PlayStation could have shown that would outshine that. So what Xbox has coming on the night.
What up, Hundo?
You know what I mean? So yeah, if I'm a PlayStation fan, I'm a little upset with Sony, but I've been saying this the whole time. What does PlayStation really have? Right? They got 5 studios that made games. And most of them blew their wad at the beginning of the generation. So what is it that they have left? They don't have anything left. We know that Sucker Punch is probably working on another Ghost. Naughty Dog just got their project shut down that they've been working on for like 4 years. Who else do they have left?
What are they working on?
You know what I mean? Gorilla is probably making some kind of Horizon something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Band is MIA on milk cartons. Like, they don't have a whole lot of studios. But seriously, this is what I've been saying to Xbox fans since last year. They've been telling us that Xbox has no games. Xbox this, Xbox that. Like, dude, they don't have a whole lot of games. It's just that they brought out their games at the end of the generation when Xbox didn't have any games to drop at the end of the generation. So then everything that PlayStation dropped just got magnified. And I told y'all, this generation, PlayStation gonna get exposed for their lack of a first party. Because I've heard Xbox fans hyping up PlayStation first party like they just had so many games. We listen to them tell us Xbox has no games for all these years. But if I'm a PlayStation fan, that's like a 2 or 3 show, bro. Yeah. There was nothing there to get me excited as a PlayStation fan. There's nothing there for me to shut up Xbox fans with. Hell, I see. You know, it's bad when you got PlayStation fans saying that the show is bad.
Yes.
How bad does PlayStation have to do for PlayStation fans to call them out? That's apparently how you know the show is bad.
Apparently, you know what I mean? Answer now to that question.
Look, Astrobot might be a great look. It came with the PlayStation. It was a cool game, but that's the capper for your show? That's what you cap your show off with? You show God of War going to PC. You already know they mad about that, right? And then Herman Holt says, we put games on there so that they buy the sequels on PlayStation, but here's a sequel coming to PC.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a good show for people who just want to play games. It was a really good show for people who bought the PSVR. Those are the people who should be the happiest. But how many of it? Like 500? You know, the rest of PlayStation Nation is upset.
By the way, those VR games are all coming to Quest. So they're not even so
like the Quest?
Yes.
Like the wireless Quest?
One of them was because one of them was already announced at the Quest thing. I was watching the coverage from On Point, C Money and Doodle, and they both were mentioning that like they'd seen it before at the previous meta event. So
So you mean like the Alien one? I was interested in.
Yeah, particularly Alien.
I want to play Behemoth.
I want to play Alien.
In fact, let me look that up to be sure. But they did say that about.
Let's get the tech research team on it right now.
But no, a number rating for me, bro. It's a PlayStation state of play. I'm gonna give it a 7, man. It's a state of play. If they said it was a PlayStation showcase, then I'll grade it differently, man.
Yeah,
and I rewatched it, bro.
Oh,
it is?
So I can confirm. In fact, I'll give you the link. You could post it up in the thing for everybody to see.
Hey, that's a bet, bro. Because that Asgard's Wrath, that game is tight.
Yes, and I would love to. I would love if it was like the meta equivalent of Play Anywhere, where when you buy it, once you get the PC version too. I don't know if they're doing that or not, or if they do any of that anymore. Mm-hmm. But that would be great. But it's coming to PS VR 2, MetaQuest, and PC VR, which means Steam. So all three major platforms for VR will have the game day one.
What the hell?
So even the MetaQuest 3 will have it.
Yeah, that's gonna be one, bro. Like, have you? Oh, you didn't get it free with your Quest, right?
What?
As the Asgard.
I did.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
No, I haven't played that. I was playing. The last game I played was Creed, and then I played some mech game where you're in mechs and you like shoot at each other and stuff. But I haven't tried that one.
Well, you should play it, bro. Like that was one of my main complaints about VR is it's more of an experience versus actual gaming. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that is a full-fledged RPG in VR. Like imagine like you have Skyrim VR or something like that.
Right.
But
okay. Because I had that with my PlayStation VR, and it was in my mind a bad port, like a really bad port. But I don't know how it is now on other better VR platforms. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the PS4, and VR was a stretch for that system. So I'll have to see what it's like on this, if it's any better or even worth my time. But we'll see.
All right, man. I gave my grade.
Man, when they like, I didn't look
D minus.
Okay, so Boom put out the leak out there because he's like, his post was huge, so it just popped up in my timeline, and I'm like, I ain't looking at it. I mean, even though I glanced at it, like, because I had to see it because that's what it was.
Right.
Like, I looked away. I was like, I don't want to see it. I hate fucking leaks, man. I just don't stand them. I can't stand them. It's like it
ruins the surprise.
It does nothing for me to know ahead of time. That's the thing. Like, what does it do for me if I know ahead of time what's going to be on there? Nothing. Right. So I shoot it away. And then when the show started, it said Concord. I'm like, I've been asking about that a while back.
Right.
We're like, whatever happened to Concord? We haven't heard word about Concord. And then at some point they mentioned like, we got something coming up for Concord. Like, oh, cool. And I still MIA again. Nothing about Concord until today. First thing first, Concord. It's like, oh, sweet. I was expecting, and this is my own fault, I guess, because I don't know what it was. All we got was a logo, right? All this time, all we got was a logo.
And you had a burger too.
Yes.
And hot sauce.
Yeah. And then
lots of hot sauce.
So I was expecting, because we got word of it at the time when Starfield was coming out. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a Starfield competitor, right? Some linear or some kind of exploration game. It's gonna be cool. And it had that 80s feel to it at the same time, right? Because of the font and the way it was presented. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be like very grimy, dirty, futuristic type, game. And then what do we get? A shooter game. Some arena, enclosed, live service game. I'm like, what is this? I was just let down, man. I really wanted Concord to be like a real game.
You didn't know it was going to be a live service game?
No, I didn't know. No.
Oh, that was going to be a live service game. That Diablo thing. That it looks like Diablo. I don't know how it's going to play. They showed it like 2 state of plays ago, and then the of course, Fair Game is going to be another service game.
Yeah. No, I had no idea. I thought my expectation, all because it came out, they announced it during the time of Starfield. We got Concord. Like, oh crap, man, it's gonna be a space game. Sounds cool. The font is pretty sick looking because it has that like 80s feel to it, like kind of like Flash Gordon kind of feel to it. And then to get the crap that I saw today, I'm like, man, it's a total letdown. It's like, I'm taking that shit off my wish list. Gone. I don't want that unless it's free. unless it's free. And I was like, all right. But then also saw the Alien VR thing, but that's not going to drive me to get a VR headset for PlayStation.
No.
You know? I mean, even for I don't think anything will because of the price.
No, it's $500, but it's worth it. I mean, I would look for it's still one of the better ones on the market, not counting the high end that Stick knows about.
Right.
Like the mainstream ones, it's probably the best one,
That
but it
has
has drawbacks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay $500 for it when I could get a Quest that I can go anywhere I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And most of those games are going to be on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm surprised Behemoth is going to run on it.
Yeah.
Well,
that game looks heavy. Well, I don't care about that one, but it looks cool.
You don't care about, but the fact that it's even coming to the
headset. It looks cool. I'm just saying that's not the game I want is Behemoth. Like I like that medieval. I like the fantasy stuff. And for sci-fi fans, they're gonna be like, I don't want to play Behemoth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just I'm more interested in Behemoth than that one. But when it's on sale, I'll cop it. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only thing I wrote down during the show was Concord, which disappointment, Ragnarok, which I don't know why I even wrote it down because I'll eventually get it for the PS5 used. Not paying full price for that. The VR Aliens game, which Six said it's going to come out on the Quest or whatever it's called. I always get the Quest and Oculus kind of mixed between the two. And then Marvel, I was like, oh, look, a Marvel game. Oh, no, it's another live service game. Oh, great.
Yep, multi-plat. Yep.
And then
it's made by NetEase. That's how you know. Like that's all they do.
And then
that's what
Silent
you were
Hill 2, which I wouldn't mind playing it because it's been a long time since I played a Silent Hill game.
Yeah, that could do all right.
And that's it. So to me, if you want a number, you want a grade, a letter grade, I think letter grades are easier. I'll give it a D.
Yeah, same here, bro. Like I was gonna give it a C and feel nice about it because like in terms of like the last 5 or so that they've done of these state of plays, this was the best one. But that's a very fucking low bar. And they just barely passed it. So you know what?
Man,
everybody else,
I'll give it a C minus.
I'm giving them a D because I was giving them a C
a D minus.
But it's a D. Because if I give them a D minus, I mean that's as bad as the ones they've done beforehand, which I think this is ever so slightly better. Yeah. But that's not really saying much. Low bar to pass.
So like other than the VR, there was nothing that you guys were interested in?
No, not me.
Okay.
Well.
It's Silent Hill, but that's an old game.
They're multi-plat. Yeah, it was a bunch of multi-plats that in and of themselves look great, and the Astro game looked pretty solid, right? That was a solid-looking title. Hopefully, it's got some kind of link to it. Pause. But other than that, it seems good, right? It seems like they're leveraging a lot of their franchises and doing references and cameo appearances, but like in their Astro, renditions or whatever, right? That seemed cool. There was a couple of things here. It wasn't like, in the end, it was slightly better than last couple of these that they have had, but that's not really saying much. That's a low bar to pass. And on top of that, I look at this and I'm just like, why did they even announce this just before the E3, summer season of, press conference season, right? Just before that, when they should be doing not a state of play, but what do they call it?
A direct thing?
Yeah, PlayStation Direct, a PlayStation Showcase, right? That's what they call it. Showcase is the term they use, right?
But what they're gonna have a showcase with, though?
Exactly. So that just goes to show they knew they didn't have enough for a showcase. So what they did was do a state of play just before, so they could say, and that'll be their contribution for press conference season, right? And that's not a good look. That's not a good look. That's bad. Is my point.
I think the best thing for them to do is not show their games. They already announced Wolverine, kind of like how Xbox announced Blade. Now those kind of games, the build, everybody gonna be excited for them. But you can't debut every game 5 years away. You know what I mean? Like, let them look. They don't have nothing. They're not gonna look. If they have a showcase, you're gonna get stuff like movies. Remember when they showed at the little showcase they had, and they showed Gran Turismo, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, the movie.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Cause they don't have anything, and then they showed the Portal.
Oh yeah, the Portal.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So they can't have a showcase. And my problem with the state of play is it's a bunch of games we already seen before. We already knew were coming. The games that we didn't know were coming were not good.
That lady,
like the game that I was like,
I was trying to remember what was he talking about. It's a man or a woman.
Bro, they had that one game. Look, so I watched it again because I was like, oh, that looks like a cool little, game, probably like some type of platformer.
Which
man,
one?
You're the girl what I called anime Barbie.
Oh yeah,
you are a stylist.
Yeah.
Like that's what you put in the showcase. It just lets you know like how bad it is over there. They don't even have third parties that's willing to show that give them games to show off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't be mad at them for being subpar. They don't have nothing, but they got to do something. They got to do something. I mean, think about it. June 9th rolls around, and then what? What is PlayStation gonna do? Now you got PlayStation. Now you got PlayStation fans talking about they're gonna have one in the fall. Like, man, y'all been talking about a secret showcase for 2 years, man.
there's always a secret showcase. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this was Pio. I was reading I looked at Pio's.
They just getting warmed up. Wait till the real show shows up, man.
Bro, it'll take them 5 years to put together a showcase if they don't have timed exclusives. And Square already backed out on them. Yeah. So what do they have to show? Like, seriously, they're gonna have to announce games 5 years in advance to put together an actual showcase like Xbox is about to put together on the night.
Put one out today. Coming 2030. Like, yes.
But that's what look. I mean, I'm like, these are not rhetorical questions. I'm really asking y'all, what do they have? They don't have anything.
No, they don't. I would call out the ones that are like, oh man, I'm really interested in this, but they have nothing right now. Wolverine, okay, I'm interested, but that's already been called out. They're like, okay, when is that coming? There's no date. There's nothing about a preview. There's nothing about a release date. Nothing. So it's like, what else is there? There's nothing. No.
But yeah, I mean, look, they got 5 studios. Excuse me, including Bungie. Right, we already know Marathon is coming. We already know the Final Shape is coming. So you can't put Bungie out there and act like you got a fire showcase. You know what I mean? If they announce Ghost is at least 2 years away, right? And they don't have that. I'm trying to think of something that they have that they can put together a showcase. And I'm not surprised, man. Look, man, I was talking to Legal Game Hero J-Rock earlier today, and I said, man, Cat Williams, like, this is the year of truth. I said, man, this is the year of vindication for the realists out here, man. Because I've been saying this.
Frankly, yeah, you've been.
I've been saying this, and Pony said, "Oh, you stupid bot, yada yada yada." I'm like, dude, y'all don't have anything. Xbox fans got mad at me. You know what I mean? When I said Xbox didn't have anything the second half. Oh man, they had this. They had, bro. You didn't even play that shit, man. Stop talking. You know what, man? I'm tired of Xbox fans talking about shit you're not playing. Look, they cry, and some of them not really fans. They just content creators.
Yeah.
So they got to create something to talk about. And there's one that comes on damn near every day that I can't watch with any level of seriousness, right? Because they just gonna go with the tide and just ride the wave of everything that's controversial or something that they could talk about.
Yes.
But PlayStation has never been a first-party platform. I've been saying this for years. Got clowned by ponies. Sean Layden vindicated me. So if you can't take it from the horse, ignore this silly bot and take it from the dude who used to run the motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I don't expect much from PlayStation because they don't have nothing. They're gonna have to go buy some more studios, bro.
With money they don't have.
I mean, they got some money. They just can't do what Microsoft's doing. You know what I mean? Go buy Annapurna. You could buy a publisher like that.
Good one. Good one.
I actually want Microsoft to buy them, right? But it seems like they value their independence, so just let it be. You know what I'm saying? Go buy somebody that can keep your coffers full. Because right now, all your studios take 5 or 6 years to make a game. Asobi, the PlayStation with 2020, it took them 4 years to make another Astrobot. You know what I mean? You got Asobi. Y'all not helping me. Asobi, Ben, Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, and of course San Diego, and you already know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, look, they don't have any. Sucker Punch and Gorilla. So that's 7 studios that actually make games, and it takes them all 5 years to make games. They blew their water in the beginning of the generation. PlayStation fan, look, I don't understand how PlayStation has fans, but I do know that most people buying PlayStations and they're not buying them for these exclusives. So it doesn't really matter if I think the PlayStation is kind of embracing that. They don't need to come out with games often.
Yeah.
Seriously. Because the majority of people that are there are not there for PlayStation games. So that we can come out and that's where you get people like Colin Moriarty. Well, that it's more is less, and that way, dang,
all the bullshit. Like what the hell?
This Dollar Tree warehouse is completely torn apart. I can see assembly lines. That's crazy.
Oh, we got Cygnus back, and he's saying you guys excited for that Nikki game, which is that Barbie game you're talking about. He says,
"Oh, that's what that is."
Nikki.
Infinite Nikki or something like that.
Infinite Nikki. And,
that game.
He says,
that game.
He says definitely day one. Of course it is, man. It's a day one.
But see, he's one of those dudes.
I got my PlayStation shirt on, man. That's what I'm ready for the game.
Hey, he's one of those dudes who's gonna act like he likes everything PlayStation does.
I'm gonna put that on right now so I can satisfy Cygnus.
Hey, Tech, did y'all have tornadoes?
No, we just had super high winds. That's all.
But did anything get blown apart?
In some parts of the city, yeah. There are people are still out without power right now.
Bro, it caught me off guard. The whole Dollar General warehouse, like half of it is completely torn apart. The walls of the warehouse are gone. You can look through the warehouse and see the racks in assembly.
Yeah,
that's how.
Wow.
That's how.
So
yeah, and go ahead.
So I was watching the news here about the storms and the aftermath, the during the math, and before math, and it was cracking me up because they had one reporter, and I'm not familiar with them because I don't watch the news that much here locally. I just kind of read the articles that's going on, and they had this one reporter. And he was next to a tree. He's like, look at this tree. It fell down. It's across the street, blocking the way. And he was flexing his height. He's like, I'm 6'5", right? Look how tall this broken tree is. And he's like in his rough neighborhood. And he's like, dude, why are you flexing your height? It's like, what's your height have to do anything with it? Right? So he kept showing, he talked about his height like 2 or 3 times. It's like, what's your height have to do with it, man? It's like, we get it. You're a tall white dude. Right? and so he's reporting. Then they cut over to another reporter, and she's at some warehouse, and she's like, look at all the damage this building took. They had some sort of like different type of roof, and it's on the ground now. Look at this mess. Like, it was a huge mess, right? And if you know Dallas, I don't know if you're familiar with Dallas area, the good sides and the bad sides of Dallas. But there's a street here called Harry Hines. Harry Hines is pretty much like Hillcroft area over there by Sharpstown.
I was about to say like MLK.
Yeah, it's all like that. So you got walkers all over the place, right? Down that Harry Hines thing.
Do they bite?
And so they kept going back to the studio, back to the 6'5" guy, right? Showing the same tree over again, right? Then cutting back to the lady that was at the warehouse, showing this disruption of their warehouse. And I'm making comments on their YouTube channels like, hey, that's Harry Hines on every day. It's like, that's no different. It doesn't even look like the storm hit it. It looks like an everyday scene of Harry Hines, and people, the other commenters, the viewers, they were talking about, so who's going to take care of the ladies out there tonight?
Wow.
Is anybody going to like help them out? Because, we got to think about the ladies around Harry Hines right now.
So you mean it's a stroll?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, when you said walkers, I'm thinking like
streetwalkers. Streetwalkers.
Yeah, that's a whole stroll. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't never heard them called walkers, but
so all the people on the YouTube channel will just comment. It's like, so see, can we get a status on the ladies? Are they okay? It's like, that's what's important. Who cares about the building? That's just Harry Hines, period. What about the ladies? Are they good? So,
hey.
Oh my, but
keep the main thing the main thing.
They kept focusing on that stupid building. It's like, who cares about the building? So
they didn't put the camera on the ladies, right?
No, they never did. Yeah.
Okay.
But people, knowing where that building is at, people are like really concerned. Like, hey man, we just want to know, are the ladies good? It's like, do they need a place to stay or anything like that, or what? And so people
they need a pimp.
Yeah. So all the people on the comments were just cracking me up. Man.
Pimping in their life. Yep.
Yeah. It was hilarious.
Right, you gotta send me the link to that one, or put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat. Yes. Oh, I couldn't stop laughing. It was
because sometimes on YouTube I just read the comments. Some videos I go straight to the comments.
Yeah. No, well, this is live chat, so it was a live stream.
Okay.
And it was live chat too. So people are just like leaving.
That archive is still there. He should be able to get that at least to read along or whatever, I guess.
Oh man, I couldn't stop laughing. That made my workday go by quick because it was during the day and everything during work time, and I just couldn't stop laughing because the comments were just funny. It was just comedy throughout the whole day. It was awesome. But yeah, no, man, we got a lot of damage here, wind damage, people's power still out, even now they're out. So it's nuts. And we just had a big old storm come through like a few hours ago here again.
Right.
So it's nuts, man.
Yeah, I've been watching the news. I've been seeing all the reports about that. That's why I asked you guys all throughout the week and legal as well. I'm like, you guys good? I asked y'all more than once. I was like, I just kept hearing wild weather shit. It was going on down there. Houses, people without power, all types of wild. Like y'all got hit by a hurricane. It was just fucking rain.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts, man. And so, but I mean, me here, I mean, we're fine. I mean, usually nothing happens here where I'm at other than finding other people's trash in my yard because they were dumb enough to put it outside the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it was like, and then I sit on a hill. So all the rain doesn't flood. It just goes down the hill and all the people at the bottom gets all the water.
Oh, lucky you. You just get your pipes to freeze because they're outside.
Yes. So it's like, yeah.
I'd rather have that because that's an easy fix.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. So we're all good here. We're all good.
So the showcase, is it next week?
It's in, I think it is.
The
right?
9th, right?
Next,
I believe so.
This Sunday.
And don't forget, Ubisoft has one too.
So we got this Sunday and then the following. So 2 Sundays from now.
Yeah. So the 10th is Ubisoft at 12 Pacific, which is 3 Eastern.
Yeah.
No, 12 p.m. Pacific time. So I guess that's
it's next Sunday.
Pacific, 9 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah. So, and I'll be
CEST.
So starting Tuesday, I'll be in San Diego all the way through the 9th. It always happens. We always go somewhere out of town when these showcases happen, so I don't find out to the next day of what's.
You should know, dude. Early June, you always know it is, but it's usually your job that makes you go, right?
No, this time it's a family vacation. We're going to San Diego.
Oh well, that's on your fault, bro. You come on, bro. You've been gaming longer than you've just been alive, and then something. That's on you. That's on you. I'm gonna shed crocodile tears for you, bro.
The show's over, guys.
No,
I gotta go and think this through. So, yeah. So it's Sunday. Sunday, I come back. I don't even know what time the flights are. My wife has all that information, and see what time we get back for that. So I'll miss out, and I'll have to catch up when we get back. That way, I have something to talk about later. It's something to get excited about.
Yeah, I think this might be the biggest show like they've ever had.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see how I won't. Yeah.
I don't want to see no multiplayer releases though. That's the only thing is like that'll piss me off. Put Doom over there, but don't announce that on the damn stage.
Yeah.
If that's gonna happen at all. I'm just going with the leaks.
Leak. Freak a leak.
Yep.
Oh,
but I'm with you on that on the whole leak.
This is what you're talking about here? This one? Was this game? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, I see it. Oh, this game. When they didn't show it for too long.
Man, I was excited about that Where Winds Meet, man, but it looks like they made another Souls game, bro.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, that's what it kind of seemed like it might have been.
Because like when they showed it was like stealthy, it was like it was gonna be like Assassin's Creed type. But man, looking at that now, man, I don't care if it's exclusive or not. We got too many Souls games, man. That. I wish that fad would just go away.
They do that they did that with battle royale games. Remember when like everybody had to have one?
Yep.
Right? Everybody has to put out one. And now the only surviving ones are Apex, Fortnite, PUBG, and then what else? That's it. I consider those the big three. That's it.
Call of Duty.
And you got Call of Duty. Yeah, 4. So you got 4. And yeah. So it's like now we have like everybody wants a Souls game. Right? Everybody has to have a live service game. It's like, oh God. It's like stop following
the live service thing, man. I understand why they do it, man, but they do it to the detriment of the game, as far as I'm concerned. Sea of Thieves was one that did it fine. I don't play Call of Duty, but from what I hear, it sounds like it's okay. I don't like doing battle passes, but I understand. That's why I never really got into what's the name of that game? World of Warcraft. Like I played it for like a year, but once I realized I was paying $15 a month to play it, and then the expansion comes out, it's like, man, it's just crazy. I think Final Fantasy does it too.
My friends back in like 2012 or so, or 2011, I forgot what year it was. A Star Games like Old Republic or something came out. That was an online game.
Star Wars?
Star Wars, yeah. What'd I say?
No, you just said Old Republic.
Oh,
which is not
it was some Star Wars game, and of course, you team up with 5 other people, and you kind of go through the missions and all that, and then after, I guess my trial was over, whatever I signed up for, like, okay, we're gonna charge you $15. Like, what? Nah, this ain't for me, man. And then there were days I wouldn't play, and my teammates would just keep going, and they're ahead of me, so I'm behind. I'm the weak one. I was like, okay, I can't do anything now.
Bro, that's what happened to me on ESO.
Yeah.
Like after a while, man, it's like when those expansions come out, dudes will just stay up all night, all day, probably drinking no-dos playing these games. You know what I'm saying? Popping no-dos. Because man, like the champion points will be at 160, then the next one is 150, then everybody's at 250, and everybody's at 250 when you get on, and nobody wants to play with you.
Yeah.
Because that means they're gonna have to carry you, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
But
man, that's what happened to me on that Star Wars game.
That stuff is for kids.
Yeah.
People who don't have jobs, or people who
you mean like mine,
don't have
who's been sitting playing Helldivers for 4 days straight.
Hey, well, that's cool. That's what. Look, man, I wish that my parents saw that. Ain't nothing wrong with games.
Oh, hey, okay, back up a bit. I'm okay with it. The other person's not. She's like,
oh,
we can't let him be playing games all day. And I'm like, what else do you want him to do? Yeah, he needs to do something else besides that. And you're gonna take the time to do it for him during your work time and during my I'm not gonna take time off from my work to make sure he doesn't play games on computer or PlayStation or whatever console. Right? I was like, so what do you want him to? He should be doing.
He just doesn't like the sound of it, but has no real answer to that, right?
No,
it's just and I always say emotion versus logic. This is completely an emotion. She just doesn't like the sound of it for whatever reason. That she doesn't like that he's sitting there all day instead of going outside. Outside to do what? To get hurt outside with all the wild stuff that's going on. Like, I don't know. Like, it sounds more emotional than logical.
Yeah, and like his friends, like where I live is a bunch of it's mainly Indian here, and so I don't know how his friends' families are, if they're really strict about, hey, you can only go outside a certain time, but a lot of his friends do have schedules. Like, they can't go out even during the summertime. Can't go outside until after 5 o'clock, right? And I don't know what the reason are. That's their rules. So my son, like, he can go outside if he wants to at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but there's nobody outside. It's just him. Like, what is he gonna do, right? And so what else is there to do? It's like, well, play games, And I don't care. Like, I don't care. Play games all you want. It keeps you away from me where I can do my work alone, in peace. And I'm not going to take time out to make sure. He's like, oh, you better not be playing games. I'm not going to do that, And I tell her, I was like, you're going to make sure he's not on it? Because I'm too busy to be worrying about that. He's like, he's not harming anybody. He's not bothering anybody. He's just playing, and that's it. And so... But he has summer school starting tomorrow, so he's going to be off it for a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, he's having fun. What she's mad at, he's having fun. It's not logical. She just doesn't like it for whatever reason that got into.
It's the whole concern of screen time. I don't care about that,
Right, because she's been marketed to, let's be honest, right, in terms of what moms should be concerned about that the kids are doing. But you see how these articles do and these news reports and whatever, like all they do is get you worried about stuff. And these things are often, things to be concerned about. I'm not trying to downplay any of it, but all they do is sensationalize it and stuff, to get you all worried instead of really giving you any facts. I remember watching
that eat it up the most.
2020 when I was a kid. After TJ, I guess ABC would play 2020. I used to watch the news shows back then when I was a kid, and I remember the different points. Like I remember like the one we talked about. I sent you the link about when they were talking about Nintendo. When the Super Nintendo came out, right? Yeah. And they were framing it as if, oh, it's this whole hybrid. But as a game, even as a kid, I understood. I'm like, that's not true. They're just telling this stuff to parents, right, to scare them because it gets. I understood that as a kid, but then I was able to, from that, extrapolate that out to other things that weren't in my purview as a young kid, right? That like, wait a minute, that logically doesn't make sense, And from then on, I learned not to just trust the news, right? As a kid at like 9 or 10 years, no, the Super Nintendo was already out, so 91. I was 11, right? From that point, I already knew. Don't just trust what the press is saying because they'll, it didn't take the internet and sensationalist headlines for me to realize that. I knew it from back then.
Yeah.
And so the reason I bring that up is like, they do market to parents, particularly women, because they know they can get them emotionally.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
And once they get them emotionally, the logic goes out the window. Then it's this whole thing. Like, if she doesn't like him playing video games when he has downtime and nothing else to do, then she should find him something to do. But that motivation to find him something to do will just for him to find something to do.
But
not for him to find something to do, for him to be happy doing it.
Even if she finds something,
that's what she'll do.
Even if a parent finds something for their kid to do, how long is that gonna last? And
it's just a distraction. That's the point of it. So they're gonna find
it's a 1 or 2 hour distraction, and then
that the kid will like.
Then what about the rest of the day?
Or that benefits him. Yeah, exactly.
What about the rest of the day? It was like,
and it's gonna feel like jail to your son. He's gonna realize like they're just making him do this, right? So he can't do something he really wants to do.
The only thing I ask
then
him,
it's gonna set his mindset against all of that stuff.
The only thing I ask him is
which is bad.
The only thing I ask him is like at night, I was like, don't stay up late, please.
Yeah.
Right. Don't stay up late. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning playing. Please do not do that. He's like, okay.
If I find out, yeah.
He's like, don't try to. He's like, don't try to be sneaky and try to play after we go to sleep because I got good hearing and I wake. He hates it when I wake up, and I hear that. I hear the clickety clackety clickety clack. And I'll be like, hey, go to bed.
Eventually, he might realize he can remote play with his phone or whatever. So you got to start watching out for that.
Oh yeah. But yeah, kid stuff.
Yeah, man.
But what about these games going to PC? Those gas games going to PC and PlayStation 5 at the same time, day one, while sequels, linear games are going to PS5 only, or exclusive games are going to PS5 only. But this is to entice PC gamers to buy a PS5. You think that's going to happen?
Oh hell no! Most importantly, reason why they're not is like these games, right? That will be going to PC, as we've seen with Helldivers.
Yeah,
they need PC to embrace it because they can't really trust the PlayStation player base to carry those games.
Yes. So
damn sure those games are going to be on PC day one. Yeah. That's the whole point. If they didn't know before, which they clearly did, they definitely know now after what's happened with Helldivers, right?
Yeah, the
so
more
of course
it
they're going to do
it
that.
needs that large engagement at the very beginning
on purpose. Yeah. So it just goes to show. That they're doing this for money because their money ain't right lately, and they need to make money. So they're going to break whatever traditional, standards and rules they have for themselves because they need to make this money. Yeah. So whatever they used to do, if it's a detriment to them making this money, hell no, they ain't doing that no more. They're gonna switch it up. And there you go.
We were talking about this earlier. It's like if it's funny they think that a sequel kind of like Ragnarok, maybe Horizon, The Last of Us, any of those big games that have a sequel, and comes out on PlayStation only, that they think the PC community is going to be like, oh, I really want to play that game. I'm going to go get a PlayStation 5. Dude, PC gamers don't think that way at all.
The only game that even remotely close to having that kind of leverage to do something like that is Grand Theft Auto. And what's really going to happen is what...
Oh, you're talking about
period. For any game from anybody's platform, right?
Yeah.
Is Grand Theft Auto. And the last time, it is what I said on Twitter, right?
So there's no GTA on PC?
No.
Not for a year.
Oh, okay.
Not for a year. It's not going
to They don't know how long it's going to take.
How long? But at least a year. Usually it's about a year, but who knows? Development-wise. But long story short, it's not going to be there day one because they're going to focus on getting these console versions out. And then afterwards, after they get the console version stable with some patches, which I'm sure they're going to need for whatever online function, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Then when all that's set in stone and they got developers working on the next content or whatever that's going to come out, then they're going to start working on the PC version.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, the last time, so what I would do with this for me, right? Because I have a PC and an Xbox. Yeah, I'll get it day one, right? And as soon as they announce the PC version, I'm going to trade it in and pay the difference to get that PC version. The last time I did something like that was Grand Theft Auto 5. That was 11 years ago now, right? It'll have been 12 years. It'll have been 12 years by the time this title comes out. So how, and so that's me who happens to have an Xbox already, right?
Yeah.
Most of these PC guys that we're talking about in these, for instances, aren't gonna pick up a console or whatever to play any game. They're already PC dudes. They're not doing that. Yeah. They're not. I'll do it for Grand Theft Auto because I already have a console. If I didn't have a console, I wouldn't buy a console for Grand Theft Auto. Bro, the generation might be over pretty soon. I don't think it is. I think they're going to stretch it out, right? The both of them are. Yeah. What I think. But I'm just saying, what PC dude would do that? They're known for waiting however long it takes to get a game to come to PC.
Yeah.
Look at this God of Wars and Spider-Man's, all that other shit. The PC dudes already got a couple of those other PlayStation games like Ghost of Tsushima that came out in 2019. That's a 5-year-old game, right? They're gonna wait for Spider-Man 2. They already got the first one, and then Miles Morales. They're waiting on this.
The problem is they're not waiting on anything. They're just finding new things to play. It's different in PlayStation. Look, we've been listening to Xbox fans and PlayStation fans say Phil is a liar. Herman Hulst is a liar. They're all liars. They're all going to say what they need to say to get whatever point that management wants relayed, right? Or whomever the hires up, the powers that be. They're going to get whatever point across that they want. Herman Hulst didn't mean anything he said yesterday. Why? Nope. Why am I saying this? The games are designed to get PC players to buy a PlayStation, right? So that they can play the sequels. He couldn't even get the word sequels out because he was lying.
Right. You noticed that,
right?
Huh?
Right. So Horizon Zero Dawn comes out, right? That was to help guide people in the direction of PlayStation 5, right? Okay. So here comes Horizon Forbidden West. Okay. You had God of War. That was supposed to get people to come to PlayStation for the sequel. Now you got Ragnarok coming to PC. They know that they're never going to get anybody to buy a PlayStation from PC. You're not going to convert a PC player who has access to everything but your games.
Right.
There's the rare occurrence that you get a game that's not on PC, and that's pretty much over with. Now the Square's not on not your hands are not in Square's pockets anymore. Right? So there's nothing that PlayStation can do to get people to go buy a PlayStation. The people that are there, look, Xbox and PlayStation players, for the most part, they're all playing the same games. People on PlayStation aren't buying those games. Nobody's gonna pay $2,000 to $5,000 for a PC just to go buy a PlayStation to play the one or two games that I just got finished talking about. PlayStation doesn't have output like that. It'd be one thing if PlayStation just came out with game after game after game that you couldn't do without. There's no game that PlayStation makes that you can't do without. Nobody is waiting on PlayStation. Nobody was waiting for Microsoft either, to be fair. They just find something else to play because Microsoft wasn't on PC either. I was on PC back when everybody was abandoning PC because of piracy. No more Madden, no more NBA 2K. Those games didn't come to PC. No more BioShock. You know what I mean? All those games left PC because of so-called piracy. So nobody is waiting for any of these games. There will come a replacement for all of these games. That's the problem. So Sony has to preserve their console as long as they can. They need people buying things from the console to get that 30% passive magic money, for lack of a better term. They need people doing that. So they can't be like Microsoft and say, you know what, man, hey, if you want a PC, go buy a damn PC, man. We're here if you want us. They can't do that because Microsoft is the talent, right? Microsoft has the studios that they can put games everywhere. Not talking about PlayStation and Nintendo, but games all over all these platforms on PC and on their console. When PlayStation comes out with a game, when they bring it to PC, they have to break bread, right? Xbox does too, to a lesser extent. They have a launcher. PlayStation wants to have a launcher that they don't, so that they can do what Ubisoft, EA, and everybody else is doing. Even Rockstar. Rockstar's not going to do day one on Steam. They're going to try to see how much they can get from theirs first. Same thing Ubisoft is doing. But PlayStation, they know that they got to keep people on that console as long as they can. But he's lying. All those games are going to PC, and the window's going to continue to shrink.
Yeah.
Because if you look, they want certain games to be ported by certain port studios. Because this Jetpack studio did God of War Ragnarok, right? I don't know any of their work. I just know they port. I know Iron Galaxy is trash at ports, but they get a lot of ports.
Work, yeah, they get a lot of work.
You know, they did Uncharted, and Uncharted was about as janky as you can get. You know what I mean? But nah, he lied. The way they say Phil lies, they lied. Look, honestly, they should stop talking. Both sides. Do what the hell you're gonna do and let the people deal with it however they want to deal with it. Because our job as consumers is just to play games, not to help them run their business and tell them how to do it. I mean, myself as a console warrior, I want them to kill PlayStation. Don't put Doom over there. Don't put Elder Scrolls over there. Hell, yank ESO off of there. Because that's the way you're gonna sell more consoles. Sometimes I'm starting to believe that Xbox really don't have the console at front. We all know software is where the money really is. But I'm just watching what they do, and that dude lied. That nobody is going to drop. Just like you said, Sick. Nobody's dropping PC to go buy a PlayStation. They know this. The only reason why it takes them so long is because they got one competent studio under their wing, and then they have to trust other outside studios to do ports if they want to do what Microsoft is doing. One of Microsoft's number one things that they went for when they bought developers, they said those that are comfortable porting to PC. And if you notice, all the studios they bought have PC games and they're comfortable porting to PC. All of them. Bethesda has, Activision, right? Ninja Theory is everywhere. Not as much for Undead, but I'm pretty sure Undead is competent too. And of course, Playground and Turn 10. Like all of them are competent at porting their own games. So, it is what it is, bro.
Word.
Yep, it's that simple, frankly. I mean, I don't know how any other way to say it, but what you did, like, if you play games long enough and you follow this industry long enough to see it any other way, just it's straight cap. And the only people who are doing that are the ones who are known for capping, right? And they're getting clowned all over the internet. It's just like you said, even PlayStation fans are standing up once again. It is not the first time that they have in recent memory and saying, yo, the state of play was ass. It is what it is.
It was. I mean, because look, Sick, you know you on PC. Tech, you got a PC, but you're not really on it. Helldivers was always a PC first game. A lot of people are crediting Sony, but it was PC players that were still playing Helldivers up until Helldivers 2 was released. So that game had to be on PC if they wanted it to live. They already said Spider-Man's coming in Spider-Man 2, right? Because if any game was going to get people to drop their PCs to go buy a PlayStation, you're not understanding, man. They're asking people to go buy a PlayStation for one game. They know they don't mean that, but that instilled hope into their console players. Their console players, see, they have a clear direction and vision. Nah, bro, they still going. They're not. It's like, what do you think they're gonna do? Stop putting games on PC to make people buy a PlayStation 5? They've already tried that. It failed. Xbox couldn't succeed either. You know what I mean? People on PC just want to be on PC.
Okay.
Go where the gamers are.
So,
hate this.
I don't know what this clip is about. J-Rock posted it of MBG.
Oh yeah, he gonna break down.
So I gotta.
He about ready to flip back.
So I gotta see what.
Well,
this
he's not welcome back, and he knows it.
Because if J-Rock put it up, it's gotta be funny.
Oh yeah.
So can you guys hear it?
Hey, you should maximize it. Yeah, we could.
Okay.
Maximize it. There you go.
Hate this. I fucking hate live service, bro. This is why I feel like I'm losing my interest in gaming, because it's literally coming down to, if we don't get people literally fucking drug addict addicted to this game, then we're not fucking making it. Then we're not supporting it. This has to be drugs, bro.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
That's literally what it is. You realize now? You mad?
Fuck your live service and fuck this shit, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Like, this is what's ruining gaming. I'm fucking tired of it. Every time I boot up my fucking PlayStation, the top 10 most played games, Fortnite, Call of Duty, fucking FIFA. Like, get the fuck out of my face with that shit, man.
Yo, I'm down bad, bro.
Yeah, I am pissed. I am fucking pissed. And how sad is it that I'm literally out here, I'm raging about live. It's like we've elevated to another status here where I'm not even bitching about live service. I'm bitching about live service games not even being good enough to be released. Like, what in the actual fuck is going on in this gaming industry, bro? This is the shit that makes me jaded. This is why I'm jaded. This is why I'm pissed off. Fuck.
That why?
This is not what,
well,
like,
you know
I
what
did not expect this. I can't help it. I'm trying so hard to walk the path of peace, man.
Path of peace, man. You heard that part at the very end? Like the last 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Well, listen.
I'll do it again.
Yeah, play it.
This is not what, like, I did not expect this. I can't help it. I'm trying so hard to walk the path of peace, man.
Look at the feet. Look at
bro.
He said he's so tired of what?
I'll play it again.
Expect this. I can't help it. I'm trying so hard to walk the path of peace, man.
Walk the path of peace, he said. That's what he said. But here's the thing. In the very beginning, and I asked him the first part, but not the second one, because I realized, hey, I'm speaking over the video. Let it play. But bro, he's saying it without saying it, but he clearly knows it because he said other words that implies he understands. The PlayStation fans aren't buying and playing the games. That's what it is. And so now they need these games, right, to sell and to make them money. That's what the fuck it is. He doesn't like those types of games in the first place, right? They already have a bad stigma, which is kind of unfair. I'll get into that later. But also, they're bad iterations of that type of game.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. These games are ass, right? They look like ass to him, right? So, hey, it is what it is. But also, like I said, I was going to get back to it. It's like a lot of these games, they have games as a service. Like, it is a wannabe Overwatch. Halo was always a games as a service from as far as, like, you could say the third one, right? Because they had DLC.
Yeah, but how many were there at that time, though? Now we're just flooded with a bunch of them.
Right. So there's a lot of these games out there. That's all it is. Like, they're there, right, to monetize you from the countless amounts of content that they sell, either, skins, shit like that. But that's fine if the core game is dope, though, right? Yeah. So we had stuff like that, but now a lot of these games are free to play. The game doesn't cost money, so they go extra hard on this stuff. And knowing that you didn't pay for the game in and of itself, like, you feel like you don't have any kind of reason to bitch about it, which is completely false. Of course, you still do. But he knows what it is. He knows what you could tell at the points when he's getting frustrated and the things that he's saying, that he knows what it is. And now he's on the receiving end of the side that he jumped to, right, to escape that receiving back when Xbox was getting it, right?
Yeah.
He jumped to PlayStation on the winning side. And a lot of these guys who flip, they just want to be on the winning side, right? To be able to win. That's why early on, like 2 years ago, I had an issue with what J Rock was saying, because I felt like he just wants to be on that winning side too, it seemed like, right?
Mm.
And he got real close with a lot of shit he's saying, but nah, in the end, he stood 10 toes down, unlike a lot of these other dudes, right? Who didn't. And Crap Gamer, it was one of the top names of dudes who flipped. And we've been laughing at him losing his mind for well over a year now. Us, it's Alex, Fertango, all these guys who love to point and laugh at fanboys and make this whole narrative about bullshit. But meanwhile, they're just as full of shit, if not worse, right?
Yeah.
Right? There you go. And so, hey, man, let this dude sit there and cry and bitch Shimon. We all knew what it was from the beginning.
To watch these guys that's
man.
Like
hilarious.
They let it take over their lives and their emotions. And it gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, this could all be like just for the camera, but still, if that's what you're going to put out, people are going to think that's what you are all the time.
Yeah. That's who he is. Look.
That is who he is.
Like what's his name? The Iron Lord, King David, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because look, he had to keep it a buck. He was like, man, I could lose my channel if Xbox does the wrong thing, man. Yep. It's like if PlayStation keeps screwing up, like, is he gonna be like Dreamcast guy where everybody just watches you to laugh at you? Because you got to sit there. Well, Reforge is, man, I don't know how he hit my algorithm, but I heard start your search with the 10 bomb. I'm like, what the hell am I listening to? Reforge. Because I got autoplay. So, like, anyway, But what the problem with PlayStation is they're tired of watching everybody else make more money than them on their platform.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They don't have a Minecraft. They don't have a Fortnite. They don't have a Sea of Thieves. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Because as live service as Helldivers 2 is supposed to be, it's not generating much money after sale. The $40 was pretty much what they got from it. It's not unless they come out with DLC. So like they're watching the numbers, right? They see all of the money Epic makes through their platform, right? They see all of the money that Epic gives them for crossplay. They see all the money that Microsoft is about to make off of them.
All right, Punny.
So
later,
Punny's out.
Yeah, he's out.
All right, Punny. Yeah, so they see all this going on their platform and they want a part of it because they're only able to collect 30% of those. But if they can somehow create a hit that they can get 100% of and 70% off of other platforms, they're cool with it. So look, I applaud them for taking a shot. I'm just glad I'm not a PlayStation fan. I'm glad that I'm an Xbox Game Pass subscriber because Game Pass affords Microsoft.
But if you're not a PlayStation
the ability
fan, why
to,
do you have like six PlayStations at home?
I sold them all but two, and one of them never been out of the box. The other one got out of the box.
Oh, you still got the one in the box?
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, because I could sell it, but I don't want to. You know, I feel like I'm losing too much. I'd rather give it to my niece, who's still playing on PlayStation. Who's still playing on PlayStation 4. She came by the house, and I considered giving it to her. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's there. Look, I'm gonna have to sell it for about $350.
It can be a collector's item, man. Just keep it.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to sell it for $350.
You're losing money. Yeah, that's what it is.
Nah, and then if the Pro comes out, then probably less people want it. So like, it is what it is. But now PlayStation has to do that. Like Microsoft's always been doing this. Is why I always tell Microsoft fans on legal shows, stand on Xbox, man. Y'all letting PlayStation people tell y'all ain't got nothing worth playing. Everybody's complaining about PlayStation fan. The pony is this, man. Look, man, they ain't saying nothing that makes sense. Like I blame you for getting upset about it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Gears, they got nothing like Gears. They got nothing like Halo. They celebrating. They hoping that Halo drop now. All these Xbox hating media outlets, Halo could possibly come to PlayStation. Like these hoes been waiting on our games, and we sitting around here buying into the rhetoric that they give us. Like I blame Xbox fans for that. Xbox fans be weak sometimes, man.
Yeah, man. The ones who are weak, because you see they're consistent about being weak. Like the ones who are 10 toes down, stay 10 toes down through a lot of shit. If particularly what's been happening.
Bro, most of the dudes who represent Xbox on YouTube are weak.
Right. But I'm just talking about the dudes who are a lot like the YouTubers or whatever. Like the fans, those who we see in different chats and whatnot, right? Who've been through all this shit and they consistently stayed 10 toes down throughout all the bullshit. And maybe a couple of them were like, it looks kind of iffy, but they never went to a level of a Gaz or any of these other guys who love to talk the negative doom and gloom to get clicks and views, right? You see certain folks don't ever do that amongst us fans who also, be watching the podcast and be in the chats and stuff, right? We know those of us who are down because they never talk any kind of, but maybe, right? Like it's not looking good. No, you don't see that from those people. But those of you who do, but those who do that, like, is it really surprising overall that they eventually flip? No, because you saw the progression of them beginning to flip. So
that's the word, progression. Because I wasn't there for the final heel turn, but I was watching. I found MBG had like 20,000 subscribers, 14,000 subscribers, and he was talking about Xbox, and then all of a sudden you started to hear Xbox needs more exclusives, man. I mean, look at what Sony's got. It's like, dang, bro. Like,
yeah,
why don't you just go get a PlayStation?
Yeah. Yep.
And that's when I tuned out. That's why, like, I'm tired of these Xbox fans asking for Sony games. I don't like Sony games. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool that Hellblade is out.
But I mean, even if they get
Sony it's almost a Sony game.
But if Xbox gets Sony type games like Hellblade or anything near close, I mean, that's like anything that PlayStation has, then what's the next narrative? Oh, they're just copying what PlayStation has.
It's always a narrative about them. It's never about the facts. It's whatever they can say make
they're
themselves
just trying to copy PlayStation.
Straight up, that's what it is.
Bro, I've always said that nobody wants to compete in that lane with Sony. It costs too much money, right? Because if any studio put their efforts into just making pretty games, they could do it. Square Enix was doing it. You know what I mean? Just making these movie games. When you make these games trying to compete with actual movies, gameplay suffers. This is why when people were complaining about Halo's graphics, I'm like, man, y'all are stupid. Y'all don't understand. They want Halo to be at 120 and 60. You don't make this game look like freaking Star Trek that you saw in a movie theater and expect to be able to get the fluidity that you can get with when you play Halo Infinite. I still don't understand people who complain about Halo Infinite. The campaign was great. The multiplayer was great. I don't participate in battle passes. So I'm not mad about the lack of battle pass content. So I'll jump on Halo at any time because I always have a good time when I play it, and I never have a hard time finding a match.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was the thing about it. Like,
I never understood
Halo.
All the folks who had issue with it, they made it clear, particularly after, like bug fixes or whatever. Like after that, it became about, well, the multiplayer just doesn't have content. Once there's content, we're good. And once the content came, I noticed everybody who said that was consistently going back to actually play the game. Like, oh, they got the content now, like we asked for. Great.
But think
the
about it,
Alex's and Fratangas, they kept to that word too. But see, that just goes to show that was fair criticism, and the criticism received, they adjusted, right? And boom, you see that now it's getting the success that it should have had from the beginning. Now that they've adjusted, that shows real, progress.
Well, no,
but most of the time that's not that.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say that I've yet to see a live service game that came out of the gates. Right, Apex Legends might be the closest one. If you look at Sea of Thieves and you watch the maturation of Sea of Thieves and you see how it came out and it was basically just water, and then they said, no, we're taking feedback. Over time, it started to become what it is now. What they said that they were going to do. So like live service games take years. That's why they say the most played games are over 7 years old. Because it takes time to the game the way it needs to be. But that was it, bro. That's all I'll say. I told you it's gonna be short.
Was it?
What?
It was.
Are you saying it wasn't short?
It was short.
It was short. Don't get punny excited.
Oh no!
Last week we talked about it was only about a rumor. I don't like rumors. I want to know the real word. And so
the real word came long before then.
Yeah,
that it was coming. So
it was coming.
This is a good confirmation of what we already knew.
It's good to go. I mean, I'm still a Battlefield.
Am I lying?
I'm still a Battlefield fan. But my question is, knowing if trying to say it, ask the question, word it properly. I guess if you have both and you play more, if you got both platforms, you play more on PlayStation because you're like, PlayStation is better, what have you. Knowing that that COD is coming up on Game Pass day one, which way are you gonna lean? You're gonna stick to your guns and pay that $70, or
there are some that we know really will, and I believe him when Immortal says it. I believe it, right? But he's in this mode of kind of like with these other guys who are just like doom and gloomers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He feels emotion about these things more than anything else. I could tell, right? But doesn't mean he's not pro Xbox or whatever. But he plays other shit too, and that's fine. I mean, but like mindsets like that, like they just want to be on the winning side so they can act like they won, and hold it over the PlayStation ponies, who harassed them for over a decade.
Yeah,
that's the motivation for a lot of these guys. I feel.
See,
they want that.
I guess because I'm biased to one side, is like, why? The logic is, if I have both platforms,
yeah,
why am I gonna pay $70, if I'm already paying Game Pass and it's already included in the service.
Right.
And one will say, well, what about your friends on PlayStation? It is crossplay, just like the other ones. So what does it matter? So the smart money in me says, well, I'm already paying for Game Pass. I might as well just play it there. Why should I get it on PlayStation? Oh, because you're friends. Well, what does it matter? Because it's crossplay anyway, so I can still friend you and still play with you.
Well, the other thing they say is because, we're just consuming off of Game Pass and not making them money. There's, you know how many times I'm hearing that from people lately? I'm hearing that from Xbox fans, like, and they're trying to question. I'm like, dude, shut up. You don't run a multi-trillion-dollar company. You know finance and you still don't understand this. Like, just stop. And then it's like, 5v1. It's like when I talk about VR, right? With on Legal's podcast. And it's 5v1. I never get my initial sentence out completely, right? And then they mad at me that, the conversation went around in a circle, right? So it's the same kind of situation, right? Like they'll just sit there and say the same thing to you. They don't want to accept what the answer is because they're feeling instead of thinking. That's what the problem is. Emotion versus logic. Once again, it's a constant thing, bro. It's a constant thing.
Yeah, it's just,
and it will never end for those people because they feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
And then if you was to prove them wrong, instead of them just being like, I guess I was wrong and just taking their L, they will feel the loss instead of being like, I was wrong, the logic of it. They'll just further be in the emotion of, I was corrected in front of a bunch of people. But it's your fault for being wrong and not listening.
The whole thing about owning your game does nothing for me anymore. We talked about this. I don't get that feeling of like, I actually own it.
Particularly in a digital game.
Right. It's like, well, even,
you don't buy it physically. What the fuck for it? What do you care?
Yeah. It's like, I don't buy it. I mean, even if I bought it physically, I don't have that, yes feeling. It's like, I own this physically and nobody can take it away. Even if you delist it from the storefront, I still have this physical copy. I win. Right?
More times than not is not as useful as it was when the service was still up.
So I don't have that feeling, and I don't understand the people that do have that. I can't put myself in their shoes and try to understand. It's like, what does it matter? Sure, I got some physical games that I bought, but I'm not always there staring at them and say, look, I still got this Gears 2 special edition. Nobody can take this away from me. I'm so proud of owning that one. I own it. I own it. And that's as far as I go. That's my excitement.
Well, the narrative now from the ponies and the Xbox guys who were drinking that Kool-Aid goes back to what Realist is saying, right? They keep trying to it's like these talking points that they hear from the place. They're not 10 toes down like they claim to be. Yeah. Because they're sounding like ponies. They literally are. So once again, they just want to be able to win. That's what it is. They want to go, nah, I win,
so pretty much get back, like a female always trying to be right when she's wrong.
Right. Exactly. Very much exactly that. That's what it is. That's all it is. That's the only motivation they have beyond any of this shit.
That's a lot of wasted energy,
upset.
Man.
Yeah. That's some bitch make shit. Frankly, that's what it is. Like,
it is.
Actual fuck.
Yeah. Because I couldn't spend that much energy and time arguing with somebody about renting, leasing from Game Pass than buying it physically.
I'm supporting the company, and then when things go bad, it's my fault. No, that's the PlayStation dudes for not buying the games. Us on the Xbox side, we know this. We see the numbers all the time. They're making recurring revenue just off of the fact that it's a service. That's what all these companies want. You see, all the movie and TV companies did it with the streaming services.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would always say, like, if these streaming services are so bad, and I don't know why they make an exception about games. If the streaming service is so bad, whether it's music, movies, TV shows, games, right? Then how is Netflix killing it?
Right.
How is Disney Plus killing it? How are they killing it? With their content and whatever people enjoy in those services.
Particularly Netflix, where it's not even their own content.
Right.
Most of it is not their own. It's somebody else's stuff that they pay for.
And just like with
their competition, what they realized was they saw what Netflix is doing, and they were like, oh, these motherfuckers is making money off of our content, and they realize, hey, let's sell our own stuff. So for this, for these content, companies who actually made this content in the first place, that makes sense to them. So now they're making more money than Netflix did off of their own stuff. But Netflix doesn't make like 90% of the stuff that they have on there. And they make a lot of great stuff of their own end. We're winning awards and shit like that for years now, right? But in the end, that's a very profitable company. And if it wasn't, then nobody else would have went into it. The gaming industry wouldn't be slowly transitioning to it. The logic that these things aren't making money is complete folly.
It's folly, yeah. It's just bullshit. And I was gonna say, just like with Netflix, because I it's funny to me when people say, "Well, Game Pass doesn't have anything anybody wants to play." Oh, there's something for everybody, right? Just like with Netflix, I have Netflix. Doesn't mean I enjoy every single show and movie that's in there, right? I probably like
you don't have to,
right? But there's something I will find and like. And that's the same way with Game Pass. I mean, I don't like every game that's in there. Just because I'm an Xbox guy and I have Game Pass doesn't make me enjoy and like every game that's in there. I don't. I think some of the games are trash. It's like, yeah, it's true. Some games are trash. I don't like them. I won't play them. Right?
Right.
But there is something in there that I like, and I always go back to it. Yakuza. I was never a Yakuza guy. I was never I was somewhat interested, but never like, oh, I gotta buy it until I played on Game Pass, and now I'm a Yakuza fan, and I've played every one of them now.
Now you're hooked.
Now I'm hooked.
And a lot of people are like that, but that's what Game Pass always was. Long before it was like third-party games, when it was just the first-party stuff, and most people didn't mess with it, right?
Yeah.
When Game Pass was around for like a year or two before that, they had said that about Game Pass then. It gets you to try stuff you wouldn't have tried.
Yeah.
And most every Game Pass member says the same thing. It's not marketing. It's just literally truth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Here's another one. Another game that I discovered just random. And I brought this up before. Greedfall. I don't know if you know about that game. Greedfall.
Yeah, I know about it.
Dude, that game blew me away when I played it. When I first played it. Completely blew me. Okay, I'm lying. I played it for the first couple hours. It was kind of a drag the first couple hours until I passed a certain point, and then at that point it blew me away.
Then it got epic. Yes, it got good. And I'm like, oh my god, this game is good. The characters, the story, everything, the missions was amazing. I had never heard of Greedfall before, right? Until I played, I was like, what is this Greedfall game? It's like, I looked at the trailer. It's like, okay, it looks pretty cool. Tried it. First couple of hours, I was like, this game's kind of a drag. And I gave up on it. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to it. And continued on with my save. And dude. And it just happened to click for you then.
It just happened to connect to me somehow. And it's just like, dude, I'm looking forward to the next one. There's a next one coming out, I think, later this year, which is a beta. And like, they're coming out. It's awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
So
now you'll be ready for that next one. And if you really love it, you might pay for it outright. Yeah. Like, I still buy games. Us Xbox guys do buy games outright, even if they're on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or we'll wait till it's about to leave Game Pass and get that 20% off. Like, I still have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
Yeah.
From last year.
Yeah.
I still don't own that. But the day they announced it's about to go, I'm buying that. I have Streets of Rage 4, even though I beat it when it was on Game Pass. Because I always said, as soon as they take it off, I'm getting that. And I already bought it on Steam, not realizing it was going to be Play Anywhere. I didn't know that. So I bought it twice. Like, I'll do that. I always talk about Project Wingman. I own it on PlayStation, and I don't even own a PS5. I bought it digitally. I've never downloaded it on PlayStation, or if I don't have a PlayStation that can run it. It's only a PS5 game, right? Because I support that game, and I'm supporting what, the 3 developers did, right? Because it's something I love. So I'll do that if it's worthy, but that's on the game to be worthy. Not on me. I'm the consumer. I got to worry about my pockets. I'm not worried about these big ass corporations. Like, I'm supposed to be worried if a big ass corporation can make something.
Yeah.
And it's what I'm telling to these other Xbox dudes who are like, oh, they don't like how Xbox is going. They don't fucking play Xbox. Go play PlayStation then. If you think PlayStation is really that much better, then go play that. And I said that to my boy with I didn't say the fucking part because I'm mad at him, but I didn't say it like that because I was trying to make a point to him. Like, bro, like, I was in his shoes like 10 years ago, right? I was just not. I wasn't really feeling a lot of games that a lot of people loved, and I just didn't. That's cool. Maybe gaming just ain't doing it for me right now. But I'm gonna sit there and act like the whole industry was ass because it's not showing shit that I don't like. Like the fuck, how self-centered is that? I said, dude, all you do is play Fantasy Star Online all day. You live stream that shit. That's what you do.
Yeah.
You say you play games, but you don't beat any of them either. But you want to talk to me, then go get a PlayStation. Hopefully you find what it is you need there. And I meant that when I said it. I'm upset at him for just like being all whiny because he sits there and he watches a bunch of YouTube videos that indoctrinate him into this shit, right? He was complete the opposite. He was 10 toes down for Xbox, but he watches a lot of his content on YouTube now, and that's all they do. So he gets indoctrinated. There it is.
The loss of just enjoying games in general has been lost years ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which platform you're on, whether you're Nintendo, a Sega, or whatever is out there. Mm-hmm. That little innocence of games, it's just completely gone. Unless you're a kid and you don't know any better, like mine.
Right.
Well, mine's kind of like starting being aware of it. Like he doesn't like PlayStation. Like I think it's like the one thing.
But he's made his own choice for that.
He made his own choice because he it's there for them to play, and they play it. They've been playing that a lot lately on the PlayStation. They've been playing Gigabash, and it's only because I have it on PlayStation.
Right.
They enjoy it, and but when I exposed him to PlayStation, he's like, I don't like this. All right, you don't have to play it. Don't leave it alone then.
Okay, go play something else. Yeah. And he's like, okay. Yeah, you always say that about your son. He always says, okay.
Okay.
Like he doesn't seem to get it. Kind of funny when you imitate him like that.
Yeah. And then my younger one, he doesn't care. He's 9 years old. He doesn't know anything. He's just like, I just want to play games.
He just wants to play he just wants to play whatever, the people he sees on live streams and all that stuff.
Yeah. I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I wasn't like that when I was 12, man. Yeah, no, listen, man. When we were preteens, we were all a pain in the ass, I'm sure, but not like this. I
remember me as a kid, teenager. I was all about RBI baseball, right? I was about Metal Gear.
You liked RBI Bases Loaded?
No, the one on NES, the original one.
That's what I'm saying. You liked RBI over Bases Loaded?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he asked.
Yeah. I played Bases Loaded, but I enjoyed RBI better. Because that little song, dun 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 dun.
Mm-hmm. I know that one.
Like, what's the song for Bases Loaded? Do you remember?
No, I don't know that song at all. But I can tell you, Bases Loaded did better in America than it did Japan. Right? And baseball is big there. But there you go.
Bases Loaded. Yeah. Yep. Goonies or Goonies 2.
Yeah, we had Goonies 2. We didn't have Goonies 1.
Right. So whatever happened to Goonies 1?
It was Famicom only. By the time we got a Goonies game, it was Goonies 2. It was already the main game. So they gave us part 2. Yeah. Or was it the other way around? We got Goonies 1 and Goonies 2 was Japanese. I forget which.
I don't know. But Goonies, I was hooked on that game. I was hooked on Goonies. And it was nothing like the movie.
Right.
It was nothing like the movie.
Nothing like the movie. Right.
And so
at least what's his name? Oh, the shark movie. Jaws. Yeah. Was somewhat like Jaws. Yeah. Right? Not exactly. But
then Super NES came out. I was all about Street Fighter.
Hell yeah.
And then some Batman game that was out. Batman Returns.
Batman Returns, probably the beat 'em up from Konami.
Yeah. So, those days are gone, man.
Yeah, when you played games for fun. That's why I always say, dude, we play games. These are for fun. If you ain't having fun, move on, dude.
Yeah.
Move the fuck on.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's why I told to my friend. I said, and that's why I told him, move the fuck on. I hope you find better on PlayStation. And I'm not saying this on some salty shit. Yeah. Like if you're not happy, I've been there. Move on to something else.
Yeah. Exactly. That's crazy. All right. Realist, you got anything? I'm going to shut it down, bro.
Nah, man, I'm in a bad area anyway, so I've been quiet.
Oh,
if I hear y'all biting, I know I'm gonna start biting.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, man. So next week I'm gonna be out. There's nothing. I'll be in San Diego. I won't be doing it like I did when I was in Idaho, going live from Idaho or some other
Unless
state.
something wild happens. Unless something wild happens. You say that now. If something wild happens.
But no, it's because we're gonna be with her family too. That's the thing. Her brother lives down there, and then it's the whole kid's graduation, and
I see.
We're gonna be pretty busy.
Well, have fun, bro.
We're gonna have fun.
Leave this gaming shit alone.
We're gonna try to go kayaking and snorkeling as one of the activities. We may go to
You'll probably take
Legoland.
some downtime at night. You'll watch the Xbox conference or whatever. Maybe you'll DM us or whatever.
Like, dude,
other than that, man, go have fun.
So nothing next week. So, all right. Well, let's shut it down. Chad, if you're still there, thank you and good night. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And that's it.
Peace.
Peace.